Pokémon Go Fest in London earlier in the month was one of my favourite days out in a long time, especially the citywide gameplay once our time in Brockwell Park was over. So as a relatively recently returning Pokémon Go player, when I found out Global Go Fest exists and is basically that citywide experience, but worldwide, for 2 full days, I knew I had to be involved. The fact that it coincided with a weekend when I was in London anyway, so I could once again experience Go Fest in one of the best cities in the world for Pokemon Go, that's just the icing on the cake. Regents Park is the place to be for the full feels like 2016, everyone is playing Pokemon experience, and my plan was to be there for the moment gameplay began at 10 AM and not leave without a shiny giraffe rig. So strap yourselves in, folks, we're going on another Pokemon Go adventure, and don't forget to tell me the best shiny you caught during Go Fest down in the comments below.
All that being said, and my master plan has been scuppered by sleeping in. I got into my hotel late last night, set an alarm for 8 o'clock, and for whatever reason it didn't go off. Woke up at 9:55, Go Fest starts at 10, so I've done the first hour from my bed, from the shower, from basically trying to get ready. It is now 11 o'clock, we are an hour in. As you can see, I am still over at Wembley. You should be able to see Wembley Stadium somewhere behind me there. My plan now is to get over into central London. I had hoped to spend most of the day over in Regents Park because apparently that is the place to be. In fact, there was a Niantic meetup in Regents Park at 10:30 this morning, which obviously I have missed. But hopefully I'll be able to get over there, get involved in some of the action. It does mean 20 minutes or so on the tube where I'm not going to be able to play, which is a long way from ideal. What I have done though is lured up everything over here at Wembley where I've been. I have made a start on the tasks, which are very similar to the tasks that we had for Go Fest over on the other side of London earlier in the month. So I'm on stage 3 of 6. Most of them so far have been things like catch Pokemon, use berries to catch Pokemon. What I need to do now is hatch 2 eggs, which hopefully, if the train stays above ground for long enough, I'll be able to sneakily do doing that. Catch-wise, in the first hour, it's not been the most productive. I have just the one shiny so far, this shiny Fungus, who, yeah, he's a little bit lonely in the shiny area of my Pokemon storage at the moment. I have done the Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon raids though as well, so I've got my first of each of those, because I've never done those raids before. So decent enough start. We have the Pokemon Go Plus running, and now we are going to head over to the tube, get over into central London, and hopefully start to add to this shiny count and find a few more people playing, because one thing I have noticed from being over here is the raids local to Wembley, nobody's doing them, which suggests people over this way have probably headed over into the centre of London where things are a little bit busier to play, and there's not really any Pokemon action over here, which kind of defeats the purpose of me being surrounded by people having a lovely old time. So we are going to race over there now, and hopefully the next time you see me, I'm going to be surrounded by nerds. I'm even wearing the official Pokemon Go Fest t-shirt, but I'll hopefully be surrounded by nerds and with a whole load of shinies sat in my bag. This wall behind me is cool though. It's called the Shadow Wall, and as you can see, it's lighting up as I walk past it, which is quite snazzy. It's certainly a lot busier around this part of London than it was last night when I was walking in at like 11:30 in the pitch black. As you can see, we have got Wembley Stadium right next to us, where I will be tomorrow. I'm actually down here for AEW All In, the biggest wrestling event in history. There will be a vlog about that on the channel in the next couple of days as well, but it's basically the greatest weekend ever as far as I'm concerned. But I've planned it really well. Arsenal are at home today as well, and I could have headed over there for that, but I think I'm going to dive into Pret and get some breakfast before I get on the train. I'm about to feel 100% more human. We have a 5-berry bowl, a bacon roll, and a coffee. Then, I promise, I'll go over and get into the action. Those of you who've also been lucky enough to have your gallbladder removed will know why, after the cup of coffee I've just drunk, I had to return to my hotel room. It does give me a chance to show you the view from my hotel room, which is pretty impressive. Wembley Stadium, for those of you not familiar. But yeah, I need to crack on with that pressing reason for being back here. Then I will get out and about into the rest of London. Right, we really are heading to the tube station this time. It's about a 15-minute walk, maybe not quite. 10-15 minute walk, so we're heading back over that way. We are coming up to the end of the second hour of Global Go Fest. This event is working slightly differently to the London Go Fest that I did a few weeks ago, in that it still has the 4 different habitats, and each habitat spawns different types of Pokemon while you're there, but rather than the habitats being locations, the habitats are timed. So each habitat runs for an hour at a time. So 10 till 11 this morning was one habitat, 11 till 12 has been another. So when it clicks over to 12 o'clock in 4 minutes time, we'll get into our third habitat of the day. Each habitat will rotate around twice during the 8 hours of Go Fest, which is why it's so important that I'm playing throughout the day, because each one of the habitats has its own collection challenge, and if you miss the Pokemon that are in that hour, you only get one more chance later on in the day, and if you miss it then, you then don't get to finish that task. And if you're a nerd like me, you want to finish all the tasks. So if we check in with what we've done, this, how you can see, we're currently in the Pyrite Sands habitat, which will be ending in a few minutes time. There's also this global challenge if you bought a ticket to the event, which I did. You didn't have to buy a ticket, but buying a ticket gives you access to a little bit more stuff. And I love having a little bit of extra stuff, but the Pokemon are still spawning and the event is still happening even if you didn't buy the ticket. But each hour, each habitat has one of these collection challenges. So you can see we did the Quartz Terrarium one between 10 and 11. We've done the Pyrite Sands that is currently on, so in a couple of minutes time it will tick over into the third one of the day. But what I wanted to show you was my progress so far when it comes to shinies, which is of course what we all care about the most. And as you can see, we are now on 5 shinies for the event, including this very cool shiny Psyduck, which the Pokemon Go Plus Plus has caught that, because I hadn't seen that, and that is very, very cool. So 2 hours in, 5 shinies down, not bad when you consider I've not really been playing. I've done about 4 raids, so we've got a couple of Kyogre, a couple of Groudon from the raids, but yeah, we are gonna, my word, look at all that. And we're not even in a busy area yet. We need to get to this tube, we need to get over to Regents Park, because we want to play at least some of this next habitat in Regents Park, which should be the busiest part of London during Go Fest. There's an Amazon Fresh shop there. I've never been in Amazon Fresh before. Any moment now, as you can see, it's 11:59. I'm just leaving the Go Plus Plus to catch any of these remaining Pokemon that are there, but what you should see at 12 o'clock is all of the spawns from this habitat will disappear and be replaced by spawns from the new habitat, which is another good reason to not catch them now, because we want them when they tick over to the new habitat. So we are just waiting for 12 o'clock. If we just pull over to the side here, because I'm going to want to get in full-on catch mode as soon as that happens. There you go. So it is now 12 o'clock and they have all now ticked over to the new spawns for the new habitat. So we are now in the Malachite Wilderness, which has this new global challenge again. So for everyone who's bought the ticket, we need to catch 5 million Pokemon between us, and as soon as we do, we get a bonus for the rest of that hour of double Stardust, double Candy, double XP, and this is the collection challenge for this area. So we've got to get at least one of each of those. There's a special Pikachu in each area as well, but I need to crack on with getting those collected, and of course, as we do it, hoping to pick up any shinies that we can along the way. So I've made it to the tube station. Turns out didn't take anywhere near 15 minutes, but as you can see, I have completed the collection challenge. This was what I was worried about. I didn't want to get on the tube and go underground until I'd completed the collection challenge for this hour. But we get our reward, which is a cowboy hat Snorlax, which, I mean, they are spawning in the wild. Try to do this left-handed. They're spawning everywhere at the moment anyway, so it's not a massive big deal. It's not a shiny, but we'll get that one wrapped up. And now it is 9 minutes past 12. Looking at this, we still haven't hit the the global target for this hour yet. That seems to be taking a little bit longer each hour, I guess, as people drop off over the course of the day. But I am now going to jump onto the tube. I'm probably going to be underground for about 20 minutes or so, not able to play the game. But when I get to the other side, I should be right on the cusp of Regents Park. And theoretically, if the Discord group that I joined, yeah, that's right, I joined a Discord group. If the Discord group is right, there should be loads of people over there playing the game. And that's what I love. Well, it turns out we were only underground for the last 2 stops of that journey. I would say about 2/3 of it we were above ground, so I was able to carry on catching Pokemon. So we are making some decent progress. Where we're aiming for now is Regents Park, which, as you can see up there, is absolutely chock full of Pokestops and completely lured up. We can literally just wander around there catching Pokemon. And I think my plan is to stay there until at least the changeover between probably around the 2 o'clock one, where it starts to repeat back round. At that point, I do want to get out and about and do some raids. And looking at the map, it doesn't look like there's going to be loads of raids available in the park, but we should certainly catch a lot of Pokemon in there. Plus, in all my years coming to London, I don't think I've ever been to Regents Park before. I'm not quite sure how that's a thing, and I didn't realise London Zoo was in there and was so central. I'm probably not going to go to the zoo today, but I just can't believe I've never been here before. Big oversight on my part. Well, I am in the park, and it is safe to say there are quite a few pockets of people in here playing. It's obviously not quite on the scale of Pokemon Go Fest over at Brockwell Park earlier in the month, where everyone was there and it was specifically set up for that purpose, but there are still significant groups of people. Every little group of people that I see, they're in groups of like 3 and 4. They're all hunched down over their phones. They're all playing. Here we go, this spot, much better example, because everybody that way is playing Pokemon Go, and everybody that way is playing Pokemon Go. This is the spot, and in 4 minutes it ticks over to the 4th habitat, which is the final one. And then once I've got that and I've clicked off all the collection challenges, it's basically just a free-for-all for the rest of the day. So I've got an hour to catch Pokemon walking up and down here like everyone else is doing, and then wait for a group to look like they're splitting off and follow them, but at a distance so I don't look weird. That's the best way to do it without having to say hello and meet anybody. Social skills, just amazing. So we've ticked over into the 4th and final habitat. Like I say, they'll switch over and we'll do each of the 4 again one more time between 2 and 6 p.m. today. But the next global one is up and running. We've got the collection challenge. It's Aquamarine Shores is what we're doing now. So we've got 4 of the however many we need to get for this section. And what we haven't done for a little while is checked in on our shinies for the day. I don't think I've caught any more, but I don't know if the Go Plus maybe has. No, we're still on the 5. So the last hour, most of it was travelling across from Wembley and doing a few raids on the way. So we've not added to the shiny count in that time, but fingers crossed. Now we've got all of this to play with, and I think I'm going to walk up that way and then around that way and basically spin all these Pokestops, catch everything I find on the way, spend the next hour or so in this park, and then come up with a plan for the final 4 hours of day 1. This is a 2-day event, but I won't be really playing tomorrow because it's the wrestling. So got to get it all done today. And I am still stuck at stage 3 of the special research because I need to hatch 2 eggs, and I've only hatched 1. And yeah, we need to walk a kilometre, and then we've got a load that are hatching. So I guess no more excuses. We've got to get up and walk all the way around there. So that is the final collection challenge complete, which means I don't need to worry about those for the rest of the weekend. We are still waiting to hatch this last egg. We've done a couple more raids on kind of a slow walk. Look at how many people are playing in front of me. Everyone is playing. Everyone is talking about it. This is what I love. It's like it's 2016 again. Why can't every day be like this everywhere? But look at all of that. Absolutely bonkers. Oh, my Go Plus Plus is disconnected. There's a disaster. I'm walking through all this, wasting steps. But I think we've got a raid over there that I'm going to try and get to, and just, like I say, continue hanging out in here for another 45 minutes or so, and then I think I'll get on the Discord and see if there's any groups leaving. Look at it in every direction. Yeah, there's a few people being grown-ups and having picnics, but on the whole, it is just people being fabulous nerds. Every now and again you'll just hear a scream of yes, and you know someone's got the shiny they were looking for. I love this. I've said many times before, one of my favourite things to do is just to be around people doing something they love doing and just kind of taking over an area. I used to love it when Eurogamer Expo was down at Earl's Court, because we would just absolutely take over that area with gamers. I love football matches for the same reason, and I love this. This is just a park full of people all doing the same thing. They all love it. We're all having a good time. It's about to rain and none of us care. This is just awesome. I am having lots of fun, and we're still not even halfway through on the day. Here we go then, we've finally got our eggs hatching, all 6 at once. I'm not expecting anything good out of these. These aren't GoFest specific eggs. These are ones that I foolishly put on last night on standard incubators, forgetting that the tasks were likely to involve needing to hatch some eggs. But now we've got these hatched, it should unlock the next stage of the research. So if we go in here, there you go, we can clear off that one. So that's stage 3 of 6 done on special research. We just need to catch this carbink, and then we can find out what stage 4 is and crack on with that. So stage 4, yes, we did lots of walking around. Why are you talking about? I didn't read any of that. Something about Eevee. Right, we've got to evolve 3 Pokemon, catch 10 Pokemon, and earn 7,000 dust. That is super easy. Well, we have made it to the end of the special research. Because I'd already done the Diancie research at GoFest London, I don't get another one. Very sad, but I did get some candy. And then we just need to claim these last little bits of reward. Get a little bit more Diancie candy and some Mega Energy. And there we go. That is the special research for Global GoFest complete. We've got all the collection challenges complete. The global challenge hasn't been done yet this hour. People are slowing down. We're 17 minutes in and still no global challenge complete. Although to be fair, I've only caught 21 Pokemon this hour as well, so I'm not pulling my weight. So I need to crack on, catch a few more. Still doing a few raids, still doing a few remote raids as well, and trying to work out when I can take a lunch break. Obviously, I did have a slightly late breakfast, but I am conscious of the fact that my main goal for the day, now I've completed all the challenges, is to get my shiny Girafarig. Girafarig will be spawning again in the next hour, so I certainly can't take a break then. So I am just going to keep doing laps of Regents Park for at least the next 90 minutes and hope by the end of that I have a shiny Girafarig. And once I've got that, I'm happy that GoFest is complete for me, I think. We're just all about the shiny Girafarig. Well, it is just gone 3 o'clock, and you know what that means, boys and girls. It is Girafarig spawning hour again. We have one mission and one mission only, and that is find a shiny Girafarig. Which means I need to walk, because I need to be making sure that as many spawn as is humanly possible. 20 minutes into Girafarig hour, 40 minutes to go, still no joy. And rather alarmingly, that sky looks very ominous. We've been hearing thunder for about the last half an hour or so. It's not actually started to rain yet, but I feel like it's coming. Well, we did try and make a break for cover at Camden before the rain really set in. We didn't make it. We're now sheltering under a tree outside the London Zoo car park, hoping the rain will calm down a little bit. It hasn't. We've got 22 minutes left of giraffe egg hour, still no shiny. And now no movement, which is going to make them less likely to spawn, because I either walk in the rain, get soaked and ruin my phone, or don't get my giraffe egg. The rain is ridiculous. Even trying to shelter under a tree, I'm getting absolutely drenched. Forget the giraffe egg, I just want the rain to stop. This isn't worth it, Pokemon gods. So I am just going to go in a minute. Well, in a great example of shutting the gate after the horse has bolted, I have now got an umbrella, £5 from the co-op with my meal deal. I am absolutely drenched through. This is very much wet t-shirt competition territory. People can see my nipples quite clearly. And I didn't even get the giraffe rig. To make matters worse, how many have you got? Two shiny giraffe rigs over here. He has been kind enough to offer the trade, but I don't have enough Stardust to be able to do the trade even, so I just have to hope that tomorrow, when the spawns are available everywhere all day, I pick my shiny giraffe rig up there and do want to show off. That's what a shiny giraffe rig looks like. That's the closest any of us will ever get to one. Well, we're over in Camden because this was the nearest tube station to where we were when the rain started, but that is the queue to get into the tube station, so I don't think we're going to bother getting on here. We've got umbrellas now. Ultimately, I'm not going to get any wetter, so there's another tube station about a 10-minute walk that way, so I think we're going to head down there in a second. What I'm also keen to do is catch some of the thunder and lightning that is still going on. It's been thundering for probably 2 hours at this point. I'm a 41-year-old man. As soon as the first sign of thunder and that black sky came in, that should have been the cue to get out of Regents Park and go to somewhere undercover. But of course, I had to wait until it was pouring down with rain and get myself drenched through to the skin. My shoes are full of water. So, how long do your feet have to be wet for before trench foot becomes a thing to worry about? We're not going to get any more lightning and thunder now, are we? We've got music in the background though, so let's dry off and dance to the music. I've now set up camp outside King's Cross Station because it's undercover and sells good coffee, Black Sheep, right out the front. So I'm just sat here. I've just done like 5 raids. There's gyms all around me and it's very, very busy here, so I can just keep jumping in raids whenever we are. It's 5:10, so we've got about 50 minutes left of day 1 of Global Go Fest. So I think I'm just going to hang out here now. I think it has finally stopped raining. I am still absolutely soaked through to the skin, but for me to get anywhere else now, I'm not walking, so I don't want to get any wetter. So it would involve going underground and then not being able to play the game for most of the last hour. So we're going to get the last hour done pretty much from this spot. Then I'll head back over to my hotel and we can do a final check to see what we actually got. I don't even know what my shiny count is at the moment because for a lot of the last 2 hours while it's been pouring with rain, I've just been go plus++ing. So who knows what's been caught on that. I just haven't had the time to check, which reminds me, need to jump in another raid now. Well, I am back in my hotel room. It's nearly 7:15, so just over an hour after the event ended. Let's have a look to see how we actually did. So shiny Pokemon. I don't actually know for sure where we ended up. So what's that? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 17 shinies, 70, I was going to say 17 unique shinies. It's not. We've got 4 Pikachu, although they might be 4 different flavors of Pikachu because each hour they had a different crown. So that's a yellowy goldy crown. That's a pinky crown, green crown, and possibly another green crown. So I think those 2 are doubles. A lot of these actually came from raids or off of the Go++. There were probably only 3 or 4 occasions throughout the day where I actually clicked on a wild shiny. So I thought that was quite interesting. I think a couple of these are very, very cool. I particularly like the blue Miltank and the like greeny bluey Psyduck. I think they're both very, very cool. Also a shiny Gibble is something I've wanted for a long, long time. I don't even know if any of these are any good. I've not appraised anything all day. I mean, that definitely isn't. In fact, while we're here, should we see if we got any hundos over the course of the day as well. So we're looking for 4 stars. We didn't. I'm sure we got plenty of pretty good 3 stars, including a 3-star cowboy hat shiny Snorlax. That is, I mean, that's pretty good. That is a pretty good Pokemon. I did loads and loads of the Primal Groudon, Primal Kyogre raids, didn't get a shiny of either of those, which was a little bit disappointing. But XP wise, I started the day on less than 500,000 towards this level, so I've done about 1.5 million XP today. I also started the day with next to no Stardust and have accumulated 500,000 Stardust. Full disclosure, I did have lucky eggs, star pieces, incense running all day long, but obviously with everything that went on with the rain from pretty much 3:30 onwards, it was very much hit and miss, relying on eggs hatching and the Pokemon Go Plus. I have walked, hold on, I can tell you off of my phone, I've walked nearly 9 miles today, just shy of 20,000 steps. I am very glad to be back in my hotel room, and fingers crossed that our hotel Wi-Fi is good enough for me to have been able to get this video out at 6 p.m. on Sunday. If you're watching this on Monday because we didn't get it out, blame Premier Inn's Ultimate Wi-Fi or the various options I've got for 5G across my 2 phones and my 4G router thing that I've brought with me as well. So I've got plenty of ways to try and upload it, so fingers crossed you are watching this on Sunday. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see more Pokemon Go stuff. Obviously we've done a couple of videos on Pokemon Go now because there were a couple of events that I thought would make particularly interesting videos. I've got no intention of becoming a Pokemon Go channel, so if you're only watching because you're into Pokemon Go, that's probably a lot until the next time I go to an event. But I do have loads of travel content. Have a look around the channel. We are growing quickly. We've only had this channel up and running for less than a month, and we're already getting some decent views on some of these videos. So hopefully you'll find something you will enjoy. Lots of travel content, lots of nerdy stuff. And of course, the wrestling vlog coming out in a couple of days from Wembley, which is just there. As I sit here, that's Wembley behind me. Can you see Wembley? Let's point you out the window. You'll probably see it a little easier. There we have Wembley Stadium, where I will be tomorrow for AEW All In, and in a couple of days you will see the vlog from there. But if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on it for me. Subscribe to the channel for all the other lovely nerdy stuff that we've got knocking around the place. My shirt is now dry, by the way. That's how long it's been since I got absolutely soaked through to the skin. My socks and shoes still soaking wet though. And thank you very much for watching.